This is another episode of UFO Garage.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Joe, and this is where we talk about UFOs, aliens, and all things weird.
Bro.
What's up, dude?
So this week, we're going to get a little focused on a little thing called Skinwalker Ranch.
Ooh, we're going to focus?
We're gonna try to focus.
Okay.
So I mentioned we got some feedback. Some people were like, hey, I love the tangents. You go here and there. But it'd be nice if you kind of focused on one little subject. So we're kind of try to go as long as we can on this one thing. I did some research, watched a documentary, 2 documentaries, read a little bit online. Other than what I already knew from like Ancient Aliens and all those different shows, Skinwalker Ranch is kind of the mecca of UFOs, aliens, and all things weird.
All things weird.
Right? Like,
dude, it's like, yeah, it's the hot spot for sure.
There's some kind of vortex. I know you've talked about vortexes in the past, and I feel like that's the best example of just like an anomalous spot on Earth that just weird shit happens.
Yeah, it's a crazy energy.
Yeah,
that is just in that area,
and it's not specific to the ranch itself.
Right, it's that whole surrounding area.
It's like a basin, like a plateau kind of horseshoe area in Utah. How do you say it? Uintah County, Uintah County in Utah. And there's like other ranches around, but this specific ranch is like 400 something, right? Acres.
Yeah.
It was owned by this family. I mean, you actually knew more about that than I did.
So I guess the family that we were going to talk about, they bought it from an anonymous family.
Okay.
And around, right. I think it was 1987, I believe.
Yeah. But they had already experienced a bunch of weird happenings.
Right. And so, man, the Shermans, right?
Yeah.
So when the Shermans bought the house, they got it at a steal.
Yeah.
And so they were kind of like, dude, of course we want this land,
and And the guy was like a cattle raiser. That's like his dream was to raise cattle, sell like Kobe beef and, really prized cattle.
Yeah, it's just prime cattle.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, expensive stuff.
What do you call it? Not Kobe. I just said that, but some Wagyu kind of some Japanese, that fatty brisket, bro.
Yeah.
It's that marble.
So when they purchased the house, they kind of walk through it. They notice that there's all kinds of locks all over the doors and the windows, and they're thinking, well,
big chains like bolted to the walls.
Right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like in the front entryway of the house, there was like bolted chains, and I mean,
they assumed it was for big guard dogs. They thought they were just, a little overly protective of the property. But.
So, I mean, automatically, all right, number one, it's a cheap piece of land. All right, first off, if I'm going to buy a house and it's way underpriced, the first question I'm going to ask the whoever is it haunted?
Yeah.
Like, that's the first thing.
Why is this so cheap?
Why is it so cheap? Yeah, what's the catch?
Yeah.
So I wonder if they asked that. I mean, there's more than one house on the property, right? There's like the main house,
yeah, and then
there's a bunch of other little tiny.
But
things.
they were more run down, more like utility shacks, I guess, sheds. Well, not really sheds, but they were still house form, but they were a lot more run down. So, they were probably like, we'll just live here instead.
Yeah.
So
this family buys this property, 400 something acres, and they are living out their dream. Being cattle raisers. What do you call that? Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys and women. Ranchers. There you go. So they buy this land. They're going to be ranchers. And the first day, so this is from the documentary and other resources too, say that the first day they pull up with a trailer with some of their cattle. They wrangle some cattle into this little corral. And they look off into the distance, and it's like a whole family. So it's like the mom, the dad, and maybe a kid or two. And they see this little figure, looks like a dog, coming straight at them, real nonchalant. It gets closer. Turns out it's like a wolf. At first it was a coyote, now it's a wolf, and it keeps getting bigger, right?
Yeah.
And it turns out he gets real close, like really friendly, but it's like a wolf that is, they say the shoulders of the wolf are as tall as the man's shoulder, the guy who bought the ranch. Yeah. So
that's huge.
Huge dire wolf from Game of Thrones.
And dude, I mean,
Ghost.
wolves are huge, right? They're already big.
Yeah.
They're already big. But dude, the shoulder up to your shoulder, that's a whole new level of big.
Dude.
That
is a huge animal.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So just like imagine the.
And they say he came off as like nice.
Yeah, like he was somebody's pet. They assumed it was somebody's pet.
Dude, who the fuck has a pet like that?
Jon Snow.
Yeah, I guess so. But
the Starks, bro.
Dude, I mean, is that a Game of Thrones reference?
Nah, dude.
It's not?
Yeah, it
is. Okay. I'm gonna.
Is that? Do you really not?
I'm gonna be that guy.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be that guy.
I won't judge you.
I really am.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen an episode.
People are gonna stop listening to this episode right now.
I'll be honest with you guys. I don't have HBO. I don't have the online HBO.
I'll give him a login, dude.
That would be cool. I recently got the Roku TV, and it's got all that stuff on there, but you still gotta create accounts and things, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
We'll trade. I want UFO TV. I'll trade you that for HBO.
Deal.
It's not even mine, it's my mom's. So.
Deal. Oh,
shout out to moms.
All right, mom. Love you, moms.
That's the one thing that I'm still tied to. I pay for everything else.
But let me get that HBO.
Hey,
dude.
Mom, what's up with that HBO? The owner of HBO, the guy, like the main guy, was like, "Hey, I don't care if people share their usernames. It's pretty cool." Yeah, he came out publicly and was like,
"Well,
just as long as people are enjoying themselves." And
everybody was so stoked about this last season coming out, and I was gonna hop on the train and I was just gonna watch them and see what's going on. But I was like, I'm just gonna wait till it's over, till the hype's dead.
Honestly, I'm jealous of that,
and just watch it on my own time, and I don't have to wait for anything. I could just binge watch it if I want to.
I'm honestly a little jealous of you. I mean, I know you're gonna like it.
I have no clue what it's about. It seems like something I'd be pretty interested in.
Do you like medieval?
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
All right, cool.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, you'll like it.
But so much for staying on track. Yeah. Right? Man, we were 3 minutes into this and immediately
I forgot to do the timer too.
I'm guessing. But yeah, so much for that. But yeah, so the wolf, right?
All right, so the wolf, the owner, the guy, the man, the dad is like, all right, this guy, this wolf is super friendly. So he reaches out and pets this wolf, and it's like super domesticated, it seems like. And then all of a sudden, he kind of like, this wolf just kind of like slopes over to the the corral, and this little baby calf is kind of checking it out, reaching his little neck through the little bars, and this wolf just gets a hold of this baby calf's neck and just starts, I'm gonna eat you now.
Yeah,
that's mine.
Head first.
Your food. So the whole family's like freaking out. They start hitting it with sticks, kicking it, punching it. The dad finally calls for the son to grab his. It's a big gun. It's a whatever caliber. It's like a 45, I want to say. I'm probably wrong on that, but they start shooting this wolf, and they shoot one in its belly. Nothing,
right? It didn't just even wound it.
Nothing.
At that time.
Doesn't stop. Doesn't do anything. Shoots 3 times, and by the 3rd time, he finally the wolf lets go, and he kind of just walks. It's really weird. Just kind of walks and looks at him like, "Ow," like there's no blood. And it just walks off into the abyss, and they never see him again.
Dude, that's wild.
So that's the first story of Skinwalker Ranch. And again, we're talking about this specific place on Earth in Utah that, I mean, has to be the mecca of all things weird, UFOs, aliens. That's the first thing, and I guess that's just something weird as fuck.
Right, yeah. Like, and people are like, a wolf. Well, maybe a wolf can get that big.
Bulletproof wolves.
What do you expect? It's a calf. Of course, a wolf is going to go after a little baby calf, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I would see how some people would be like, well, maybe it was a bear, and maybe it just happened so fast that they just thought there was a wolf.
Because you can shoot a bear, and if you don't have the correct gun, you're just going to piss it off.
Fuck bears, dude.
Right. Yeah. It seems like it would be pretty scary.
Yeah.
It would definitely be pretty scary.
People have shot bears multiple times.
But they had to shoot this wolf with two different guns.
Oh, that's right. They got the rifle out.
Mm-hmm.
And shot him at a distance.
Mm-hmm.
And just nothing, bro.
Nothing. It just walked away like it was annoyed or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's like the first to the T episode. There's a lot of in-between stuff. Mm-hmm. One involves just orbs, mysterious orbs. Did you hear about the blue meanies? They call them the blue meanies.
There's two different kinds, right? There's the orange ones and then the blue ones.
I forget what the orange ones do though.
The orange ones were just kind of, they floated around. They nobody could ever, catch them. Nobody could ever follow them. It always just the closer you thought you were getting, the further away it was getting.
So I remember this. You made me think of this one other story that in between hazy part was like they realized that one of their prized calves or cows had walked away. They couldn't find it, so they tracked it. They found the tracks going onto the riverbank. There's like a little stream, not river, but like a little stream at the edge of the property. So they followed this cow's tracks. And like 20 feet from the river, it just stops.
Yeah.
And at that point, by the time they had reached the river, it's like dusk, and the man and his two sons kind of look in the distance, and it looks like somebody is driving onto their property. It looks like headlights.
One
instance. It's the orange orb. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep walking closer and closer, and it just kind of drifts up into the sky and just kind of takes off as soon as they get really close.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that cow, it's walking, right? And it disappears. There's no footprints. And the same thing happened to the wolf, because they follow the wolf out into the woods to make sure that, we got to get rid of this thing.
Right.
If it's going to do this to the cattle, we got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
They track it,
Predator.
and all of a sudden the tracks stop out of nowhere. So this is happening to all the animals. Yeah, around on the ranch. So then they see those orange orbs, right? And then I might be skipping a bunch of different stories, but the one I guess story that I'm thinking of, the blue orb had stopped. I guess it was like just midday, or no, it was at night, and it stopped, and this orb kind of grew into this big circle. And through the circle, you could see like it was daylight, as if it was a portal to a different, totally different planet. What's that? What on earth?
Hello?
Is that your phone? Dude, your Hotpockets are ready.
Dude, I'm such an idiot.
What did you do?
I looked up a timer to time how long our podcast was, but it was a countdown timer from 5 minutes.
That's hilarious.
I'm so dumb. Oh my god. Shit. All right, stopwatch. No.
Oh my god.
All right. Still going? All right.
Is it?
No, we're good. All right, that was dumb. So fuck it, let's leave it in.
Okay.
The portal.
Okay.
That kind of fucks me up, because number one, it's not like, it doesn't sound like a story that you would just randomly throw in.
Right.
It's too
it's
too specific.
Mm-hmm. It's very specific, and it sounds way too ridiculous.
Way too ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, this blue orb opens, and then I can see through this ring.
And it looks like daylight, he said.
Daylight. So it's nighttime on Earth, and they look through this thing. It's freaking daylight, dude. Like, that's insane. Yeah, so that's another weird...
Don't they see a black figure that crawled through the portal or whatever it was?
Oh,
they said they saw a black figure. He was like, "What's going on?" And the guy was just kind of fixed on the portal.
He's crawling on his hands and knees.
And there's this creature.
Yeah,
it I guess it looked humanoid, but it was a shadow figure. Crawls out of this portal and takes off running. Yeah, it's faster than human, but just takes off running out into the woods. Right, dude, like.
So the story I heard, he's like this shadow figure's on his hands and knees, and he's crawling through this little wormhole, and he gets to the edge, just one leg out, another leg behind him, and just takes off. Like, that is so creepy, dude.
It's extremely creepy, dude. Man, no, no, sir.
No,
not at all. But they call these things blue meanies, right? Because for some reason, the blue ones like gave you an uneasy feeling.
That's right.
They kind of like, for some reason, they just made the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Right.
It would freak people out.
Make you feel really fearful, like out of nowhere.
Yeah, and for some reason, these blue meanies would do that. And one crazy story that he had was he was sitting on the porch, and he sees one of those blue orbs off in the distance, right?
And the dogs,
they get up and they start barking, and he's like, "Oh, okay." So it kind of makes him feel a little good that it doesn't affect the animals in the same way.
Right.
It may still freak him out,
but
but
also that he's not crazy. Like, it's not just him seeing it.
And the dogs, so he lets them go, and they take off, and he says that the orb, it goes away, and then he hears the dog squeal,
yelp in the background,
yelping, right, and then it's just silent. So he's not gonna go look for him at night.
Hell no.
He waits an hour or so, and they never come back. So he's like, we'll go look for him in the morning. Him and his son, right?
Yep.
So the next morning, they go to the area where they saw this orb, and the dogs ran out, and the dogs were charred.
Okay, so so it's just like almost a skeleton, a little bit of meat, but just still crispy. Like somebody had set them on fire with a flamethrower or something.
It was like they were just torched, bro.
They got smited, dude.
Smited by the smiter.
The blue meat. So also blue meanie. You've seen Yellow Submarine?
Absolutely. Have I seen that?
That's the most trippy.
It's crazy. It's such a crazy ass movie.
So good reference. So shout out to whoever came up with that reference. The blue meanie.
The blue meanies.
But yeah, they are mean. They zapped a dog. How would you feel if your dog, little Gizmo, got zapped?
Dude, my little Gizmo. If somebody zapped my dog, man, that sucks because there's nothing you can do about it.
Dude.
Nothing.
It's literally a light in the sky. That's all the information you have is that, I mean, put yourself in his shoes. Gizmo runs after a little blue light, and then you wake up the next morning and he's a little in. All right, that's making me sad. We can't talk about it.
I know. It just runs. It's like,
yeah. So that begins the changing subjects a little bit because it's making me sad talking about Gizmo. A little fatty. So that leads into the cow mutilations. That kind of starts this whole new thing where, and again, that kind of, there's a theme throughout this whole story. And I mean, I'm sure it's still going on, so it's not done yet. There's still shit happening all the time.
Yeah.
But everyone we'll get to this later, but everyone that's researched this place, they found out, they all come to the conclusion that nothing happens twice. Like no instance happens like again. Like
right. It's always something different.
It's always
in
something
a different
place,
place,
which leads a lot of people to believe that it's an intelligent force, whatever it is that it's like a little prankster. It's a jokester. Like it knows.
It doesn't want to be investigated.
Does not want to be investigated. So we'll get to that, but I want to kind of go through some of the weird stories
for sure.
So that leads into the cattle mutilations. I forget what the first one is, but they start finding their prize cows, like these $8,000 cows with their ears surgically removed. I mean, it's not some wolf yanking on an ear. It's like someone took an X-Acto knife to the ear. It's like so clean. And there's like little spots around the cow's skull. Surgically, taking the skin off, you could see the bone.
Yeah, they're removed.
And then like nipples, like they'll take the nipples off of it or whatever, like
and
the teats.
All around the back.
Yeah.
The back is just clean cut,
Right.
There's no blood.
You can see the spine and all that.
You can see the spine. There's nothing. It's
no blood in the ground.
Right.
And I mean, usually when there's an animal attack, there's so much blood and bile and weird shit that like grass dies around it and whatever.
Yeah, and entrails are everywhere.
Yeah.
Even, buzzards are eating it. Maggots, eventually get on it. But there's no other animal comes near it. Nothing's eating it. It's just a clean-cut piece of meat.
That is super weird.
That's laying on the ground. Well, because first they were just disappearing. And he was like, well, where's my animals going?
Right.
And then he started finding them. And, I mean, if you ask me, I would rather them just disappear.
Dude, yeah.
Because what a crazy scene to have to come up on.
Exactly.
And then try to tell somebody.
Yeah.
And explain it.
Yeah.
Is the other thing.
Right.
How do you,
So that's where I try to put myself in these people's shoes. Like, at what point do you start to tell other people, like, hey, is this happening to you guys? Like, have you seen this shit? I wonder if he talked to his neighbors or anybody else. I guess he went to the papers in 1996 is what I have. But like...
Well, his neighbors experienced similar events.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, they kind of talked about it back and forth, but for some reason, that's 400 acres, so we're saying
big.
We're saying neighbors, but we're talking miles away.
Right.
But in this particular area, this stuff happens. This particular spot, though, just seems to be really hot.
Yeah.
Weird things happen on the other ranches, but I think those families still live there, right?
I wonder what their stories are.
I want to know, too.
That would be cool. Why, like, people always go to Skinwalker to, like, investigate. Why not go to the neighbors? I wonder if people have done that.
Yeah, dude.
That's such an easy idea. I'm sure people do. Yeah.
They had to have, just, hey, what have you seen? Is it happening here?
Yeah. Is it still happening? We should go, dude.
Let's do it.
Take some sleeping bags, bro. Let's leave Nibbler and Gizmo at home, though. I'm not taking the dogs.
No, not at all. We have to go by ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to go by ourselves.
So the surgical precision of these cattle mutilations. So I kind of want to interject real quick. So this podcast I watch called Extraterrestrial is these dudes that it's two dudes that really do their research. It's a pretty interesting podcast. There's not a lot of episodes, but they take on different, almost like cases. So each episode is like a specific case, and they take on cattle mutilations. I don't know if they specifically reference Skinwalker Ranch in those stories, but the ending of that episode, spoiler alert, is that they found evidence that there was a cult in the area that were doing this to these cattle. Like, there was some evidence, like no one got put in jail over it, and there's not a lot of paper trail, but there was some evidence that kind of nudged someone to believe that that's definitely possible, because there was like some occult group in the area that sacrificed animals or whatever. So think about that. So I wonder, throwing that in there.
You think that could kind of be like a crop circle thing, where some of these things show up and you're like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
Right. And it's extremely precise. And they do the tests, on the crop circles, there's no way in, no way out, that whole thing. And then you have copycats that come in behind, and they also create crop circles, and it's just us, right? So it kind of muddies the field a little bit.
It's another instance of that. On
like, is this humans or is this something other than human?
Yeah.
Maybe this cult knew about this, cattle mutilation, and they're like, we should emulate this. And that kind of be our thing.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's totally possible. And it just always goes back to, like, there's always going to be, if something weird happens or whatever, for the same reason there's people on YouTube that upload phony UFO videos, and they purposely do CGI to like convince people that they have a UFO sighting video. It's like they want so bad for it to be real that they have to create it. Yeah, they have to manifest it themselves, even though what they're doing is like totally counterproductive.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So I get what you're saying,
and
I think it might be one of those things.
Dude, that hurts everybody. Like in the community, it just kind of it hurts everybody, because you're not helping it.
Like, what do you stand to gain?
Yeah. And if it is fake, it's like, hey, check out this cool video I made. Go get a job for Hollywood, dude. Stop fucking with people.
I mean, to the other edge of that sword is if they can convince people to think that it's real, then that's like the best portfolio piece ever, right? I mean, if you create such a good hoax, like,
yeah.
So, I mean, does that make sense?
It is. It is, but they don't do that.
Yeah. Well, I hope not. But yeah, so I definitely think it's possible. I just kind of want to throw that in. I really don't think one way or the other that, this could possibly be a cult thing, but there's just so many of those cattle. There's so many photos. If you Google Skinwalker Ranch, cattle mutilations, you can kind of see what we're talking about if you're listening right now. Yeah. So, I mean, cattle mutilations, that's another big thing that happened on Skinwalker.
Which sucks because that's that guy's entire livelihood.
Yeah.
Is cattle.
Yeah.
So for that to start happening, that really starts to hit his pocketbook.
Right. Yeah. Could you imagine? I mean, yeah, I spent $10,000 on this bull, and the next morning you see it just totally
gone.
Yeah. The other, so kind of moving away from that for a second, is in the category of all things weird again, is like the wife had a bunch of stories in the house. The Poltergeist. Did you know about the Poltergeist stuff?
A little bit.
So she would go to the grocery store like in the middle of the day, come back home, put all the groceries up in their respective cabinets and the fridge and all that. And she'd go to the bathroom or in the bedroom or something, come back, and everything's back in the bags.
In the bags, right.
So,
dude,
I had this funny idea, like, maybe she's just being lazy. She told the husband, like, oh yeah, no, I put him up. Yeah. He's like, damn it, woman.
I've been home for 30 minutes.
All you had to do was go to the damn grocery store and put the damn groceries in the big.
I tried, Terry.
I've been up since 4:30. My face is getting red. That's a hard voice. Right? So, I mean, I thought about that.
Yeah.
So, that's a possibility. But if she's telling the truth, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
if you get giant wolves, blue meanies, things hiding in the trees,
why not ghosts?
Why not?
Throw in some ghosts.
Yeah, might as well put that on top of it.
Fucking poltergeist. Like things that would kind of be rearranged, or like paintings like crooked and things move around.
Dude, how annoying would that be though? Like you have to put the groceries away like 8 times. Like over and over.
Now this mayonnaise is bad.
Yeah.
These avocados are rotten now.
You wake up and everything's out of your cabinets. But it's very neatly placed, and they weren't trying to destroy it, but they did want you to do some extra work as soon as you wake up in the morning.
What if the poltergeist neatly made some sack lunches?
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
That'd be so helpful.
Oh, dude, yeah. Yeah, you would just in the middle of the night make sandwiches for everybody, fill some bags with chips, and
I want a little drawing of the family on there.
Yeah,
there's a variety too. There's egg salad, there's chicken salad, there's pastrami.
Dude,
but they're really, really good sandwiches.
He's a culinary artist, right? This ghost. And can you imagine showing up to school, right? And you hear the kid and he's like, "Yes," and you're like, "What's up, little Timmy?" And you're like, "So we have this ghost in our house, right? And today he gave me a snack pack." And you're like, "Oh." You're like, "That kid is crazy."
But it's like a gourmet snack pack. Like he made the pudding.
Homemade pudding.
He slaved away all night.
He washes dishes. Yeah, how come ghosts are so destructive and they're always just pushing shit off the tables and walls? Why can't they be productive and help you do some drywall or clean the house at night? If
change the light bulb every now and then.
Something, dude. You're always making things break. The electronics go crazy.
I'd be cool if there's any specters out there listening. Hey, come to my house. You can clean my house anytime you want if you want to be friends with me.
Seriously.
I will be your bro, whatever. Because it would be awesome.
And if you're if you're cool about it, we can watch whatever you want to on TV at night. Once your work is finished.
What if the ghost only wants to watch Cheers?
Oh man, dude.
Oh no,
dude, I mean, I guess it's a Cheers marathon, bro. It's a Cheers marathon. If you're not gonna pay rent, you clean in the house.
I mean, it's almost worth it, dude. I'd watch Cheers if I didn't have to do chores, dude.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so much for staying on top. Casper, where are you at, dude?
Dude, Poltergeists are totally on topic.
I spilled my cereal, dude.
I used to love that movie.
I watched it 2 weeks ago. It holds up, dude. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Bro, you've been going like on an old school binge lately.
Yes, I have.
Like The Big Green, Casper.
Yes. I watched Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh my god!
Today.
That's awesome.
Such a great, great movie.
Man, I'm a huge fan of like older movies. Like we still have DVDs. Like we have DVDs that we can't find, like on Netflix or Hulu.
You still have VHSs,
bro? Yeah, we do. We have like a whole thing of VHSs still. We don't have a VHS player, but I kept it for so long because I couldn't find Wayne's World anywhere. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to keep Wayne's World on VHS, and I'm just going to continue to take this VHS player with me everywhere. And finally it broke, and so I had to, go find me
you got to call some ghosts to come fix it, dude.
Yeah, I needed to find me the new Wayne's World, that I could play because I bet
you could, if that was in like mint condition, it's like someone would buy that for like $200.
They might.
A Wayne's World VHS, dude?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you ever get a Nickelodeon VHS?
Oh yeah,
like Good Burger, and it was all orange.
Remember? Some were like lime green.
That was so cool, dude.
Yeah, dude. We had the Rugrats.
Dude.
A lot of the Rugrats on there, and the Wild Thornberries.
Oh, dude! Don't forget to step and breathe.
Ah, Marianne. Smashing.
I can't remember how you laughed.
Yeah, it was a good stuff.
Have you heard about the theory, like the dark web theory of the Rugrats? So there's like this dark web theory. This dude came up. I don't know who it was.
Oh, about Angelica?
Yeah,
dude.
Bro.
Yeah, that's pretty trippy.
That's dark. So the theory is that Angelica she's kind of schizo, right?
Uh-huh.
And that she's imagining all the other babies because... What was it? Because her...
I think she had a baby sibling that didn't make it.
Right, died.
Uh-huh.
So she's like imagining all these babies and their adventures and all that, and it's just her.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
That's why she carries that Cynthia doll with her everywhere because it kind of symbolizes, that baby. It's like a bond that she has with it.
Like ruined my childhood,
dude.
Bro.
It's pretty dark. It's pretty dark.
Okay, Skinwalker Ranch. Let's get back to it. Nick. Oh, also, I thought about this. Hey, Hidden Valley Ranch. Hidden Valley's coming out with a new flavor of ranch. It's called Skinwalker.
Oh, that's so good, dude.
Skinwalker Ranch. Put that shit on everything.
Oh man.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah. I mean,
for Halloween,
I haven't heard a lot of, marketing campaigns from Hidden Valley in a while, dude. Yes. Hey, we're looking for sponsor, Hidden Valley. Anybody from Hidden Valley or know somebody? We're looking for sponsors, dude.
Man, I love Hidden Valley
so much, dude.
Oh God.
All right. So I only know like one more story.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it has to do with the freaking bulls again. And you probably already know this one, but
is it about the 4 bulls?
Yes,
dude, that's pretty crazy.
It's pretty weird. Mm-hmm. So there's 4 bulls, like grown ass, mean, badass bulls.
Before we get into that, though, so before that happened, right? This stuff occurred after Bigelow bought the ranch.
Okay, we'll go in on that.
Yeah.
Explain that.
So the family was getting fed up. They were running out of money. They were trying to figure out anything, right? Because nobody's just gonna buy this property You know, it's legend. It's, you know, people know about it.
Oh, I don't even think we've mentioned the legend too.
Right? Yeah, the legend. So it was made by the Navajo, and they called this thing a Skinwalker. And the Skinwalker is an entity that can, they claim it's a shapeshifter. It can shift into any animal.
These are Native Americans that live in and around that basin,
and they will not go there.
And for hundreds of years, they've had this story of a Skinwalker, this shape-shifting being.
Right. They've known about this energy in this area, and they're forbidden to go there.
They can't go. Yeah,
they can't go there. They won't.
So
they won't do it.
This ranch resides in the path of the Skinwalker, which is interesting to me. Like, they know in the direction of which this being and this energy moves,
right?
Which is really cool to me. Like, it's not something that's permeating from one spot and then it just chooses to latch on and goes wherever it wants. There's literally like a linear path to
that
this.
It follows.
Yeah. So that's really interesting.
That's super cool.
We should have gone into this at the very beginning.
Well, we're not very good with structure, dude.
No, we're trying it out.
This is the first time we've tried to stay on topic.
This is a new thing.
Yeah. So
this is the first. I mean, I don't know how many minutes we've gone, but we're only talking about one thing.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I'm pretty proud of us.
Yeah, it's not too bad. So after all this happens, Bigelow finds out, right?
Well, they go to the papers, his family, right?
Yeah, they go to the papers and they write this story, and that's how they find out about it. And so Bigelow purchases this ranch.
Wasn't George Knapp somehow involved at the beginning?
They were doing so. Because
I feel like him and Bigelow are boys.
Yeah, so
that's the feeling that I got.
Because he's that's kind of Knapp's gig. He writes about all this stuff, and so what are they called?
Reporter.
Reporter. But yeah. So that's what he does, right? Yeah. He takes these stories, and it kind of became like his thing. He got kind of that's just kind of what he went into, because there was some crazy stuff. I mean, if you think about it, like, the guy definitely was, in the right place at the right time for a lot of this stuff, and he's, I'm sure there was plenty of reporters that passed this up.
Oh yeah.
They were like, I'm not doing that. Like,
but the local papers put this story right in the papers.
Yeah. Yeah. And so they found out about it, and he was like, hey, we'll buy this ranch from you. Right, we'll go ahead and buy it from you. They set up the NIDS team, I believe, right?
Which stands for, National Institute for Discovery Science.
Yeah.
NIDS, bro. All right, proceed.
Right. So
I'm so proud of that research, dude.
So he buys the land, and the family's getting ready to move away and pack up their stuff, but the guy who owns the ranch, he's like, hey, you guys don't know anything about running a ranch. He wants to find out what's going on this ranch. So he does everything he can to kind of stick around.
Yeah,
he's like, I can be the ranch hand. I can work the cattle. I can take care of the ranch. And you guys stick to the science stuff.
And he's just not going to live there.
Right. He just won't live there.
He's going to take that paycheck, still use the ranch, and then this NIDS team is going to come on,
and they're going to do the research. So they bought it from him. What was it, 96?
Yeah.
Is that when they bought the ranch from him?
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah, so they buy this ranch.
And Robert Bigelow is this, like, hotel tycoon. That's how, like, he's a freaking billionaire off of, like, making hotels or building hotels in Vegas, by the way, if you didn't know who that is.
Yeah. And then he started getting into, the research stuff, the science and the research,
So he hears about this crazy place, and he's like, that sounds right up my alley. I'm going to buy this at a low cost, probably. Moves this research team in to investigate. And they set up watchtowers, right?
Yeah, watchtowers.
They bring a bunch of dogs, and then they sit out there for, dude, like, I don't, honestly.
I think they sold it, or so they were there until 2004.
Okay, so that's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It's like almost 10 years, 8 years. But the catch is the whole time they were out there, the people that, the people that were there researching this place, I don't know what the number is, let's say 20, all saw something happen all the time, but only firsthand. But they never got any video evidence. They had security cameras set up all over this place.
'Cause everything would happen right outside the view of it.
Yeah, dude. So again,
they got a couple small videos and photos, but it's mainly of like orbs and things like that. Because the other stuff, you can't see it.
Yeah,
you couldn't see it. You couldn't follow it. It would happen, and it would be instant. It would be really quick, and it would never, like we were said earlier, it never happened in the same place.
Yeah.
So it was hard to track this thing.
Right.
Like it was playing games with them.
And it seems like it was cognizant that they were there to prove that something weird is going on, and it didn't. Whatever it was, I think it's an intelligent force. Whatever, I don't know. Right. I don't have any answers. But like you said earlier, it does not want to be documented. Like it doesn't want to be proved. So it's like doing whatever it can to stay out of view at all times
and scare the shit out of you.
But it's still gonna fuck with you, like
to get you out of there.
Oh, what a trickster, man.
I mean, that's and these people are, they're scientists. These are PhDs. These are,
they're no doctor scientists.
They're no doctor scientists,
but they're scientists.
But they're pretty important.
Right.
They're pretty important people.
Right.
And they all went into this thing skeptical. As most of these like researchers, they're like, that's not true.
But you hear these testimonials from these guys,
and you gotta check it out.
Some of them won't talk because it's going to ruin their career, but some of them will be like, hey, I don't know what to tell you. I saw some weird happenings there that I can't explain.
Yeah.
But we don't, like, that's what irks me, is that they don't have a lot of proof.
Right.
They were there for 8 years and don't have a lot of proof. So at the end of the day, it's like, man, it makes me think maybe there's just like this natural phenomenon of gases that leak up from a seismic whatever.
Are you swamp gassing everybody right now? Is that what's happening? Yeah. Are you swamp gassing everybody right now?
I was gonna say swamp gas.
You swamp gas everybody.
But I mean, has it not crossed your mind? I want to play both sides of the fence. I don't ever want to be like,
absolutely.
I totally, you got to explore all the possibilities.
Yeah, but when swamp gas has these physical things happening.
Well, it's methane, right?
Methane is clean cutting cattle.
I'm not saying it was swamp gas. I know that there was physical proof.
Right.
But do you get what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I feel like, because these scientists have no proof, that something's going on where they're hallucinating. But so in the documentary, as I'm asking myself this question in the documentary, he goes, yeah, there's no fault line. There's no irregularities in electromagnetic fields.
And they did psychological tests on everybody.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot.
Including the team.
Yeah.
And he was like, so if they're having a mental breakdown or something mentally is wrong with them,
mass hysteria,
it's happening to every single person that goes on there.
Yeah.
And, so he's like, while it is a possibility, it's extremely, rare.
The physical proof to me is the cattle mutilations. Other than that, there's not a lot of physical proof. But there's just stories. There's too many people.
The giant wolf.
There's there's so many specifics and too many people that corroborated.
Just say it fast.
Corroborated. Yeah.
Kind of
there we go. Yeah.
Corroborated.
With these stories, they're like, oh yeah, no, that happened. I saw something similar to that. So,
and then they go to the neighbors, and the neighbors report similar stories.
Yeah.
So,
again,
it's happening to a lot.
I just kind of mentioned that because that's where my brain went at first. It sounds just so freaking out there.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, some people had witnessed Bigfoot. Did we say that yet?
Bigfoot. Yes.
Some people saw Bigfoot.
Bigfoot,
dude.
UFOs.
If we haven't lost you yet.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Bigfoot, giant wolves, mutilated cattle,
Yeah.
UFOs, orbs.
Some people claim to see Bigfoot walking around, scratching his nuts, looking for berries.
Right.
Dingleberries.
So all the crazy stuff, right? Whether it be Loch Ness monster, a werewolf, whatever it is, Bigfoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if there's certain places on the earth that's where these creatures come through, right? And then they go to their respective areas.
So
chupacabras, all that stuff.
I mean, if we're exploring that possibility, we also have to kind of take into account that, like, that if we're thinking of the infinite universe, as we talked about before, that anything is possible, and things overlap sometimes, and that's scientifically possible. Like,
right.
No one can say that is impossible. Okay, so let's start there, and maybe this is just a little overlap. I mean, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, totally.
That there's this spot.
Totally.
Maybe there's this little spot that just reality overlaps, and things become physical, and are allowed to be in our reality.
Because if we look at the story with the portal and the shadow being crawling through that portal,
shady motherfucker, dude.
Shadow beings.
He's going around like shaking it. He's going around like sneaking into movie theaters, eating people's popcorn.
Stick to the shadows.
Hey, kids.
That's why crazy things happen at night.
Yeah, right? Dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I guess it's a possibility, right?
I'm open to it, man.
I mean, I am too. When people are experiencing this and it's more than one person, it's a lot of people.
That's what I go back to.
And then, because so this happens, and then you get a call, and it's like, hey, I'll buy your ranch, and I want to get a bunch of scientists on the case.
Something to that.
There's something to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He personally was like, I'm going to put millions of dollars into this.
Yeah.
It wasn't cheap, and he kept it going from 96 to 2004.
Yeah. I didn't write that down, but I believe you. I didn't write a lot of things down.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
But okay, so this, I mean, how awesome is it that there's somebody out there like Robert Bigelow that is a perfectly sane businessman, very successful, but also just into weird shit.
If I was a millionaire, all I would do is weird shit.
Yeah, dude.
I wouldn't do anything normal.
I would drive around in like a 56 Chevelle and look for ghosts and aliens.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm quoting, like, have you ever seen that show Supernatural?
I don't think so.
It's a good show.
Is it good?
It's a good.
Is it corny?
Yeah,
it's corny.
It's corny.
I've seen the.
It's kind of like a little bit like Buffy. I mean, I love Buffy, but it's like, it's campy. I'll say. Is it? Yeah, it's a good show. Yeah. It's still going too.
I've heard good things about it. It's the same thing with that show Roswell. I've kind of wanted to start watching it, but I'm not sure.
I started watching the first episode and I fell asleep.
Okay,
and that doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
I definitely will. I usually give any new show like at least 3 episodes.
Oh yeah,
because I'm a binger. Like that's all, I watch a lot of TV. Yeah, I fell asleep, so I got to try again. I'm not saying I don't like it. I fell asleep.
We'll have to try it again. Right?
I'll try it again.
Okay. I might give it a shot too.
Yeah, Roswell.
Some are just hokey. I just don't like the hokiness.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool. This is gonna be like a supernatural.
But when there's like really attractive, like quote unquote high school kids that are also like 25-year-old actors, like, and they're all moody and shit.
They're like falling in love.
Yeah, there's always gotta be a fucking love interest, dude.
You're like, come on,
damn it.
There's aliens.
They're just trying to give people boners, dude. I just want to learn about aliens, dude.
Oh man, dude.
All right, so Robert Bigelow buys the ranch, pays for this research team to investigate it for 8 years, and then what happens?
They do all the research they can. Sorry, I was swallowing some beer. They do all the research that they can, right? And some people say that the NIDS team, failed at their research. There's not a lot of proof.
Did they fail, dude?
Right? But exactly, did they fail? A lot of people even say that this was a stunt pulled by Bigelow and Knapp because they wanted to turn it into like some sort of theme park, some paranormal theme park. But that's bullshit because it hasn't happened, right? It's if that was the case, people would be going out there paying $25 every night. You'd have hundreds of people there,
right?
Exploring this thing.
They employ many security guards there with freaking like semi-automatic rifles to guard that place.
They're not playing.
So I mean, it's like Area 51 level security,
right?
So yeah, they're not opening it up to the public anytime soon.
Yeah, it's not a theme park. It's not just some.
I think that's just people talking.
Fun thing you go do, right?
Yeah. So do you know about the new owner or anything about him?
I don't know too much about the new owner, but I do know that when Bigelow and them sold the ranch, they sold it under the understanding that research will still go on there.
So, I read that too.
I'm not sure.
Did you know that the new company is called Adamantium?
Really?
Adamantium.
That's what they put inside Wolverine, right?
What?
That's this metal.
Really?
I think so. It's adamantium or something.
Oh my god, dude!
I think that's what it's called.
Amazing.
I'm not sure.
Wolverine.
Yeah, I think it's called adamantium.
Antium
or something. One of those superheroes. It's just
Hold on, I'm on Ask Jeeves. It's gonna take me a couple seconds.
Come on,
dude,
Jeeves.
you're right. It is adamantium.
It is adamantium.
Oh, that's fucking dumb. Come on, man. That's so lame.
It was all you said it like it was super cool at first. You were like, it's called adamantium. You find out it's from X-Men. You're like, stupid. Oh, that's hilarious.
All right, scrap the podcast. This episode's over.
I love your reaction. That was hilarious. Yeah, dude. I knew I'd heard that somewhere.
Oh man.
Yeah, all those
anyway, that's what it's called. It's literally spelled the same.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Adamantium.
Hey, maybe that's some of that trickle disclosure.
Yeah.
Right, through media and film and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where they release little bits of information that are true.
Dude.
And it's just, so when the time comes, we're not all completely mind blown because it's kind of familiar to us. Like we've been fed this information over the past 80 years.
It's either that or the opposite where they're like, oh, well, you dumbass, that's the same thing that Wolverine put in it. It's the opposite.
Yeah, but it sounds cool. I mean, dude, how many companies do you know called Adamantium? Isn't there a Adamant?
I don't know. Is it
Adamant?
Cousin?
Adamant. He was like a little cartoon,
Adamant.
And he was tiny, and he'd fly around and kick ass. Adamant.
That sounds like Ant.
I'm Adamant.
Oh, he looks like Johnny Depp.
Oh no, maybe he's a singer.
That's
what it is.
Yeah, he's a musician.
That's what there's a cartoon of a tiny little ant, and he would kick people's asses. And there's this there's like this it was like a Mexican TV show where the guy dressed up like an ant. And it was pretty funny. I don't remember the name.
Are you talking about the Tick?
No, but I love that show too. That show was hilarious.
Right?
I used to love the Tick, dude.
Who did this voiceover? He's somebody famous.
What's his name? It's the guy who plays Grunk in Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that guy. I can't ever remember his name, but yeah, he's funny.
Yeah,
he's a funny dude.
They made like a live action where he actually played. I think the voiceover guy actually played the Tick, right?
Yeah, they made a new it was a live version. I think you could only get it on Amazon, I think.
Of course, dude. Man,
Yeah.
Amazon's got all the good stuff, dude.
It's funny because everybody I know orders shit from Amazon, but they don't order movies. It confuses me. I'm like, you order everything.
But
every time I come over here, there's like 8 8 Amazon boxes in your corner, but you don't have Amazon TV. That shit over in your corner costs you what, $400 or $500, and the TV costs you $6. Get the shit, get it, so I can use your password because I'm.
We have Amazon Prime, dude.
Do you? Oh, you don't watch the movies?
That's how I watched the Skinwalker Ranch video.
Oh, you got it on Prime on Amazon?
Oh, I had to pay for it. I had to rent it.
Well, how much was it?
It was like $4, dude. $4. It wasn't bad.
Ah, $4. Fuck that, dude. I saw somebody. I was looking for this movie, Surf Ninjas, and then I saw somebody post.
You just made that up.
That they got Surf Ninjas. I love that movie, dude.
Street Sharks.
Street Sharks. Dude. God damn, dude. Oh, you're gonna get me going. You're gonna get me going, man. On all these old cartoons, but yeah. So on topic.
Yeah. Dude, that's all the stories that I know about Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah, man.
They were kind of at the end of it.
All in all, bro. I mean, Skinwalker Ranch is just a crazy place, right? I mean, it's. I'd like to visit.
Absolutely,
I would love to visit.
So people have claimed to see UFOs there. Mm-hmm. They see strange lights. They see Bigfoot. They see giant dire wolves that are bulletproof.
Right.
Cattle mule. It's everything paranormal
is
that
there.
You can think of is at this. So I mean, yeah, if you were to go there and like experience all this shit or like live there for a week, mm-hmm. What a great amusement park! But put me in a plastic box. Like I don't want anything messing with me.
So that was a crazy thing that they said, right? Of all the time that everybody was there, nobody ever got hurt. It was only the animals.
Right. Yeah. No humans got hurt.
Ever get hurt.
Other than the fact that, a couple of people did mention, including, George Knapp didn't have an entity follow him, but other people claimed, like the families that lived there, that an entity followed them, like hitchhiked.
Oh, man.
To where they moved to a different city or whatever. This entity stayed with them for a couple weeks, like moved into slept on their couch for a couple,
That would suck.
Eating their popcorn.
Bro, you move 100 miles away.
Yeah.
And your fucking groceries are back in the bag. Dude, that would piss me off. I'd be so mad. Why couldn't Bigfoot follow us instead? Yeah. I got the goddamn ghost that takes my groceries out and puts them back in the bag.
Bigfoot, I feel like, would take up a lot of toilet paper, so I'd take the ghost. That sounds like an expensive endeavor, dude. He needs so many tangerines, man. Babe, we gotta go back to the grocery store. Bigfoot.
He's just always hungry. He just eats constantly. Eats and shits and sleeps.
That sounds like some friends I know. I don't want to name any names. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, God, yes. It's hilarious, man.
He just shits and sleeps. He's always coming.
Oh, it's so funny, man. Yeah. But yeah, so Skinwalker Ranch is a crazy place.
Yeah, man.
I'd like to go see it for sure.
I would go. I would pay. So I don't know how much would you pay to go there for a week?
I mean, $100, $150. I don't want to sound like a cheap ass,
no.
But I don't want to pay $500 and die. Yeah, but I don't want to be, like, oh hell, give you $20.
I don't want to sound like a cheap.
What?
I don't know, $15.
What do you think my friend George Washington has to say about that? You snap crispy. $1.
Yeah.
Crispy $1.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
So this is in Utah. Oh my God, I'm gonna really reveal how dumb I am when I'm asking you this. Like, geography is not my thing, okay? But how close is Utah to Arizona?
It's like a state up.
Really?
Yeah.
Shoot, I'm not dumb at all, man.
So it's like where we live, Texas.
I thought so.
Texas is the big one in the 50 states.
I mean, we're already going to Phoenix.
Yeah.
If it's not too big of a road trip.
Well, it'll be a road trip for
okay.
sure.
All right.
It'll definitely be a road trip.
I'm not trying to be in the car for like 10 hours.
No. Then we're not going to Utah.
All right.
But Utah is pretty awesome.
It's
got a lot of cool hiking spots.
Park City, Utah, like really big snow.
Yeah, there's mountains right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I worked at a place right down the mountain range from Park City.
No shit.
It was called Taylor.
What do you mean you worked
Taylor,
there?
Utah. I opened a restaurant
Oh, yeah.
out in Utah.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool.
Hell yeah, dude.
But yeah, dude, we should definitely make a trip up there.
I'm down.
Mm-hmm.
We should like get a group. Bring some lasers, dude.
Some lasers. Dude.
Lots of lasers.
I wonder if the scientists had lasers.
Dude, if they didn't, they should have.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm out there, I'm gonna be pointing at some stuff.
Yeah. What if you're like, nope, you come to me.
Yeah.
You just shine it on the thing.
It's like the wolf's out there, like, stop it. It's in my eyes. Stop.
Or you shine it on the ground. The wolf just starts chasing it. He's like, we figured it out.
Yeah.
We figured it out. That's hilarious.
It's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Well, dope, dude.
Yeah, man. That was a good one.
That was man. We stayed on topic for the most part. I'm pretty stoked about this episode. I mean, just a little bit of the feedback was like, maybe just stick to like one story, and I felt like this was the perfect one to lead into.
Yeah,
because there's just so much weird stuff, and like
totally.
I feel like we equally know enough about it. And now people listening to this, if they didn't already know, now they know.
Yeah. And
if you want to watch the documentary, like where me and Joe know this stuff from, it's called The Search for the Skinwalker. And I actually watched it on Amazon Prime. Well, it wasn't Prime because I had to pay for it.
Oh.
A whole $4.
Oh.
HD.
Was it worth $4?
Honestly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. It was really well done. Jeremy Corbell, another shout out, which you didn't know. I didn't know that he also directed that.
Right.
What we were saying before we started the podcast, like it's
great because
it's the same intro.
I've seen it. I've seen it before.
Yeah, me too.
And I just never even realized it.
He's like, it's the same intro as the Bob Lazar one where he's like walking through a desert and there's like this space background. He's like, he's all emo. Like, I woke up. I made myself breakfast. Anyway, you get it. If you want to check it out, it's on Amazon.
Yeah, dude. Guys, we got some t-shirts coming out pretty soon.
We got some t-shirts.
We got some stickers that are ordered. They should be here pretty soon.
So Joe made this badass. He came over a couple of days ago with this awesome design. It calls "Come and Take Us," and it's a UFO with a star. If you haven't seen it on our Facebook page, we're gonna make those t-shirts really soon. We got 3 people that we did this thing. We're like the first 3 people that shared.
Yeah,
we'll get a free t-shirt. I can't remember who it was.
Corey, Nicole, and Josh.
Shout out!
Yeah. You guys win the free shirts.
Hell yeah!
Got
some merch coming up, and these stickers with the
I also wanted to give a shout out to Joseph, because that guy, he's on top of it, man.
Dude,
every day he's posting some cool stuff.
I love it.
Yeah, man, we appreciate that, brother. Keep it coming, man. Keep it coming.
And it's like stuff that I've never seen.
Yeah,
it's like new information too.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Did you see the Area 51 thing today? Where there's at the top it says they can't stop us all.
Oh,
and
yes,
and it's a meetup at Area 51,
bro.
And everybody's gonna walk up to Area 51.
Joseph's the one that posted that, right?
Yeah, he's the one that posted it. I don't think that's gonna work out for those guys, because they're expecting like 6,000 people to show up, and
it's gonna be
like maybe 14 at the most, and they're gonna be like, well, should we still do it? I mean, can they do something to all of us?
Or everybody hands in.
Yeah, they can. Yes. They can do something to 6,000 of y'all if they want to.
They're like all on bicycles. All right, guys. Information.
Did you bring the water bottle full of rocks? I'm gonna throw that. They better not send a tank towards me.
They probably got a tank, dude. They probably gotten something scarier than a tank.
Oh, dude, it's like a hovering, levitating tank.
They probably got that thing off of the Stranger Things out there running around.
Oh, dude,
all naked and scary and shit.
What is that thing called?
Suck your face. The Demigorgon.
The Demigorgon. That's right.
Dude. They probably got a bunch of Demigorgons walking around.
From the upside down. Hey, that comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, dude. I'm stoked.
Dude, yeah.
I'm excited.
So are you going to watch fireworks, or are you going to watch Stranger Things?
Stranger Things. That's a great question. My freaking neighborhood, dude.
Are we going to celebrate America, or are we just going to watch Stranger Things tomorrow?
one and the same, brother.
Yeah.
That's America, dude.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, my neighborhood never fails. Every year it's like my wife and I are like, was that a gunshot? were those fireworks?
Oh, golly.
So that's going to happen. Nibbler's going to be terrified. But yeah, I'm excited, dude. We were thinking about doing a thing where we do a little projector projected on the back of our little shed.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we don't have any plans. So, we'll talk about it later. But
yeah, dude. But, man, this went way better than the other podcasts we tried to do. Oh, guys, we tried to do a podcast the other day. And it was total shit.
It was so bad.
We made it like maybe 20 minutes in.
I've never experienced so much dead silence. You were so nice about it, dude.
It was terrible. Like, we just couldn't keep it going. It was just hilarious.
We didn't get into the flow. It happened. It's gonna happen.
But I tell you what, even though it's a good thing it was a terrible podcast, because we got a lot of other stuff done. Mm-hmm. You know, had we not messed up the podcast, we wouldn't have gotten shirts and stickers.
Exactly.
And, shout outs to people and stuff. So yeah, it turned out to be pretty successful.
Still productive. We did the El Camino thing, which Joe illustrated that El Camino. I'm super stoked.
That's the Impala, bro.
Oh, is it really?
The Elco's the truck.
Damn it,
the
dude!
Truck car
I had an argument with Luke about this last night.
Oh no!
He was like, "That's not an El Camino." I said, "If anybody knows what an El Camino is, Joe loves that car. I know that he would know." So I'm totally wrong. I'm sorry, Luke.
I'll tell you who's an Elco fan is Dill. Dill's a huge Elco fan.
What's up, Dill?
Dill used to cruise the Elco, and I had the Impala.
Oh,
yeah.
Dang,
he had a sweet El Camino, dude.
Why the hell did I think it was I even named the file El Camino, and you didn't stop me.
I didn't know.
All right.
Well, it's because I just called it the 6.4.
6.4?
It's the Impala.
64. It's the year. Oh, got it.
Cruising down the street in my 6.4. Jogging the vision. Slapping a hoe. I went
I totally know the words.
You know the words? Okay, I was trying to help you out a little bit. It's okay.
I'm gonna stop myself right there.
All right, guys. Well, very soon, check us out on the website. It should be coming here pretty soon. Maybe we'll have another shitty podcast day and get that up and running.
Yeah.
It's UFOGaragePC.com. Definitely check us out on Facebook, though. UFO Garage podcast on Facebook. Just search it. I mean, now you can Google it, and we're the first thing that pops up.
That's right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or ask Jeeves if you do an Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves. Yeah. He'll know. He may take you the long route, but you'll get to it. Yeah. But yeah, you Google us. We're the first thing that pops up now. So I mean,
sweet.
I don't want to sound, but
you sound pretty pretentious.
We're
dude.
Kind of a big deal.
We're good.
I mean, I don't want to.
Many leather-bound books.
Yeah, many.
Smells of mahogany.
So yeah, guys, we'll have the Patreon up. But yeah, come check us out on Facebook. Listen to us. iHeartRadio,
Spotify,
Apple
Podcasts.
Yeah, Spreaker, everything, guys. We're everywhere now. So definitely check it out. Give us some likes and some love, man.
Show us some love.
Damn, dude, that was dope. Dude, we're getting good at that. All right, guys. Well,
peace.
That is it for UFO Garage this time, and we'll talk to y'all later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.